Alright, so we're going to be talking about literary devices today. Everything that we are going to do in this class from here on out has to do with this information. This stuff has to be memorized, unfortunately, but you're going to use it over and over and over again. So that's why we're doing it. We're getting the basics today so that we can grow off of that as we go on. You don't have to write this on your notes yet. So we're going to talk about the two different types of devices. Today we're doing literary elements. Next class we're going to do literary techniques. Okay, start our notes with this. Literary elements are used to develop a story. These are things like plot, setting, characters, theme, mood, conflict. You probably know pretty much all of this stuff. Stuff we've been doing since early on. What is the plot of this story? What is the setting of this story? Write down literary elements are used to develop a story. We're going to go ahead and define all these in just a minute, so you don't have to write them. Remember, we're just writing on the note side. Don't write anything in that questions column. Plot. Here's our definition. Sequence of events that occur in a story. A synopsis. If I ask you to tell me the plot of a movie, you don't tell me every single line that happened in that movie. You're going to just tell me the basics, the general outline of the story. So write down plot, a synopsis, or an overview, or whatever. Setting. Another easy one, where the story takes place. It can be very specific. It could be a certain city. It could be a certain time period. It could be a street. Character. Person portrayed in a literary work. Also take note there are two kinds. We have the protagonist and the antagonist. Protagonist is going to be your main character. Antagonist is going to be the person that goes against that main character. If you think of it as a Disney movie, our protagonist is usually the good guy, the hero. The antagonist is the bad guy, the villain. Remember, you'll be able to use these notes on your quiz. Just make sure you know what you're writing down. I had some kids in the last class just writing the words down, but no definitions, and then they didn't know what these things were on the quiz. Again, this should be all review. Nothing too complicated today. Theme. This is a major, major concept that every test probably you ever take is going to ask you about. A theme is the main idea or the meaning. It can be stated directly. However, it's usually very indirect. It's up to you to figure out what the message is that this author is trying to get across. These ideas are big. They're called universal truths because they can apply to all different people. So an example, a big example, is evil is always punished, or goodness always prevails. We have the story where the good guy wins. That's the theme. That's the overall general idea that our author wants us to walk away with. Mood is the general atmosphere or feeling that a text creates for the reader. So if I'm reading a really sad story, the mood it creates for me is sadness, or sorrow. Or I can read something and feel a calm effect, or something scary that makes me upset. Conflict, a struggle between two opposing forces. Just like if you have a conflict with a sibling, or a conflict with a friend. There are two types for this as well. We can have an internal conflict or an external conflict. Internal is when you have something going on inside. So maybe my religious beliefs are conflicting with something that I want to do. That's internal. External, something on the outside. Maybe I'm having an argument with my mom. External. Stop writing for this part. This is what we're going to be doing next class. If you look on the list of terms, probably some of those look familiar to you as well. So today we kind of did the bigger part. These are more individual things. So we're going to be talking about the literary techniques next class. You're going to use both of these types of things to analyze literature, which is what this course is all about. Any questions? Confused? Easy? Okay.